presentation of Fox Sports.
We are sports. We are Sun.
Tonight, two electric arms square off at Tropicana Field. Chris Archer goes to the hill for Tampa Bay, looking to end the Rays' three-game skid, while Chicago counters with southpaw Jose Quintana. The Rays and the White Sox on Fox Sports Sun is next. After a three-city road trip covering close to 7,000 miles, the Rays are happy to be home. Tonight they will begin a 7-game stand. The first team in, the Chicago White Sox. This game one of that series. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to an evening of Rays baseball. The Rays and the Chicago White Sox go at it tonight with Brian Anderson, Dwayne Stats. Good to have you with us. We'll be joined by Alex Cordry in just a few moments. Well, offense has been the name of the game for the Rays, and in this series, it will begin with the number 3 and number 4 hitters in the American League.
You know what? Another day, another Corey Dickerson sighting in the open, but guess what? That's how good he has been all season long. Comes into play today, hitting .336, good enough for third in the American League. Leads the American League with 75 hits. Leads the American League with 25 multi-hit games. The key has been consistency. All season long, Corey Dickerson has not had back-to-back nights where he's taken an over. He brings it every single night. He's been very productive. So is this guy. How about Avi Garcia for the Chicago White Sox? And look what he's doing with the batting average, Dwayne. Tied for 4th in the American League. A .330 average coming into play this season. That's 72 points higher than his career average. And he's not suffering in the power and production department either. 8 home runs, and he leads this team with 38 runs driven in. Another guy that when he gets the ball airborne, he will use the entire field.
Well, the Rays are 4th in the league in runs scored, but most of that against right-handed pitching. They've struggled against lefties, and Alex Cordry will take a deeper look into that when we return.
Tonight is the first of 6 scheduled games this season between the Rays and White Sox. Left-hander Jose Quintana takes the mound for Chicago tonight, and he has one of the highest ERAs in the American League at 5.60. So the Rays are hoping that his struggles continue because they're looking to turn things around when it comes to facing left-handed starters. Here's our Toyota inside look. You can see the team's hitting .289 against righties in contrast to their .222 average against lefties. This season, they have a record of 7-12 when facing southpaws. Steven Souza Jr. expects that to change and wants to see more consistency at the plate.
Our right-handers have to do a better job of putting together big at-bats. When we face right-handed pitching, we've got great left-handed hitters and we have great right-handed hitters, but as a unit, we have to do a good job of jumping on these left-handers and especially us right-handed hitters, putting the pressure on them, driving in runs and getting on base. And when we can do that, we can get to the pen, we'll be just fine.
And Souza will look to set the tone for the Rays right at the top of the lineup. So the Rays offense looks to get off to a fast start tonight. But first, it's Chris Archer who heads to the mound when we return on Fox Sports Sun for Rays baseball coming your way next.
It will be the right-hander Chris Archer headed to the mound to begin this homestand in this series against the White Sox. Chicago comes in 24-31. They've dropped 5 in a row. The Rays off that road trip, losing 3 straight to Seattle after series wins in Minnesota and Texas. Starting lineup presented by your Southern Ford dealers. Yomer Sanchez will lead it off for the White Sox, followed by Melky Cabrera, and then Jose Abreu. Abisail Garcia hits cleanup in front of Todd Frazier. Matt Davidson will be the DH with Tim Anderson in short hitting 7th. Omar Narvaez is the catcher hitting 8th, and Lurie Garcia is in center field and he'll hit 9th.
Well, for Chris Archer, he's making his 13th start of the season. The record 4-3. Numbers that jump out at you right there: 95 strikeouts in just 79 1/3 innings. You expect opposing offenses to be aggressive with him early because of that.
First pitch of this game taken for a strike. Sanchez shortened on the bat. Took the pitch right in there. Fastball to begin things. Sanchez starts the night hitting .301. 1 ball, 1 strike. Right back into the screen. A foul ball on a mid-90s fastball.
And that now allows Evan Longoria back to play a normal depth at third base. And you think sometimes a guy like Sanchez, those left-handed hitters, will square around early, because that first pitch of the game was a pretty good bunt or pitch to bunt, but you're just trying to move that third baseman in a little bit. Maybe you can slap one by him.
This one shot towards center field. Kiermaier on the run, and that ball hit something up there. Went the other way, or did it? He just overran it. And all the way to third goes Sanchez. That's going to be a triple. And boy, Kiermaier took off to his left, angling back after that one, and all of a sudden the ball took a big left turn. And Kevin Cash wants to talk this one over. The umpires are going to do the same.
Well, if it hit anything, it wasn't the rings. That ball was not hit well enough to get there.
No, you're wondering if it hit one of the suspension wires, the guy wires up there.
And I'll tell you, it just looked.
Well, one umpire's already signaled home run.
Yeah, see, I don't think he hit it that well. No, see, that ball didn't hit a thing. That didn't hit a thing. He just overran it. I mean, he got going. We talk about it all the time. He lost sight of it, and when he, Kevin Kiermaier will take an angle and he will take a route and he gets going on his horse and then picks the ball back up. Sometimes that's tough to do in this building. And he turned and immediately went to his left and angled like you said, Dwayne, and the ball he just overran it. But I don't think that hit anything. Usually when a ball comes off the bat hot enough when it's got a chance to catch something. It didn't hit anything.
Boy, that was one of the stranger fly balls we've ever seen here.
Here's a great shot of it. Just follow the ball. It's just coming down. Kevin just can't find it. That didn't hit anything.
Suddenly he found the ball behind him and had to run it down at the base of the center field wall.
This would be the worst call of all time if they come back and say home run on this, because that just was a fly ball to center that Kiermaier took his eye off for a minute, tried to get to a spot, and he got too far.
Well, you talk about a ball having some English on it.
He kind of scooped it, so even though the ball was hit towards right center, it still had that backspin on it. And you're right, it did come back a little bit.
This is a crew chief review. So the call on the field is a home run.
That's awful. That's awful. Right out of the gate. Yeah, I think they know that Kevin Kiermaier is such an accomplished center fielder. They're like, well, if he overran it by that much, it had to have hit something.
It's hard to believe that it didn't. See what they come back with.
Oh, that's awful. And even Kiermaier knows that ball didn't hit a thing. And what a joke. What a joke. He knows it didn't hit anything. Just follow the ball. That is nowhere near the ring. Nowhere near it.
So the third home run of the year. Sanchez hit that ball to center field, and Kiermaier overran it. The pitch is high now to Melky Cabrera. And the home run call stands. up and away, 2-0. Well, a lot of confusion out there on that one, and still some confusion.
I think right there, the reaction of Sanchez told you everything. He knows he didn't hit a home run. Yeah, it's a big joke now, but he knows better.
3-0 the count to Melky Cabrera. There's a strike. 3-1. Well, there are a lot of interesting elements to the ball that Sanchez hit. Number one, that it could be misjudged in that manner. Number two, it did have some English on it, and you can see Sanchez talking about it there. And number three, that they would actually rule it a home run.
Well, this should be an interesting and entertaining series then, if it's anything like it started out.
What a way to start things.
Here we go.
Well, Archer back full now with Cabrera, and a ground ball to first will take care of him. Morrison steps on the bag, and that is the first out.
Well, let's take a look at the Rays defense, brought to you by Gold and Diamond Source. And in that outfield, left to right, Corey Dickerson, Kevin Kiermaier, and Steven Souza Jr. And across the infield, third to first, Evan Longoria, Tim Beckham, Daniel Robertson, and Logan Morrison, with Jesus Sucre behind the plate.
Jose Abreu, who's hitting .279 coming into this game. All 10 of his home runs have come on the road this year.
I know that Chicago, and you know this as well as anybody else too, April, early May can be not a very fun place to play, but no home runs there and 10 on the road.
It's amazing, isn't it?
It really is, especially with his kind of power.
Foul back. You know, I can understand it being lopsided, road, home.
Sure.
For a couple reasons. One of them is what you mentioned, not an easy place to hit sometimes. You know, that bat doesn't feel all that good in your hands when it's that cold. The other thing, though, the White Sox have played 32 games on the road and 23 at home. So that's a little lopsided for the schedule so far to this point. And weather factors into that. 1-2 the count on Abreu. Rays down 1-0 here in the top of the first. Sail Garcia is on deck. And the pitch missed. A little bit wide right there with a slider. 2-2.
You know, that's something that Jose Abreu, a guy that makes very quick adjustments from at bat to at bat, even sometimes mid at bat, understands real good chance you're going to get the slider. You could see him leaning for that pitch.
And that is a strike call on the outside corner. Well, he got one there, and it caught the edge.
Now, Chris Archer, when he gets you to 2 strikes, he is almost 70% slider. So you know it's coming. But even so, if he puts it in a spot like this, good luck to you. Abreu is looking for it and still doesn't go after it because it was put in such a great spot.
Yeah, and he's to the point where that pitch, look at that. Of all of the strikeouts this year, almost 73% come on sliders. Faces Garcia, Avisail Garcia hitting .330. The pitch is down, 1 ball, no strikes.
And that's what these hitters know. You know, if you're going to face Chris Archer, you're going to disregard the changeup, especially if you're a right-handed hitter. You're not going to pay that pitch any mind at all. It's the explosive fastball and the slider, and you know
when you get to 2 strikes, it's almost 70% slider. So for him to be able to go out and dominate like he has, as far as the strikeout numbers go, pretty incredible, because you know what's coming.
And to further that point, a little over half of his pitches to right-handed hitters are sliders. That's amazing right there.
He throws it, yeah, more than even the fastball usage.
Yep.
If you can believe that. But he believes in that pitch, and it's such a good pitch that, like I said, you get to those elite pitches, you know it's coming, and if he executes it, there's not much you're going to be able to do about it. Even when he doesn't execute it, we've seen him get swings and misses.
And a wave and a miss right there. Got that one on the fastball. A run home. 2 strikeouts in the inning. 1-0 Chicago. Chicago leading 1-0 on the home run by Sanchez. Let's take a look at the Rays lineup presented by your Southern Ford dealers. Steven Souza Jr. will lead it off in right, followed by Corey Dickerson and Evan Longoria. Logan Morrison in the cleanup spot in front of Tim Beckham and Kevin Kiermaier. Weeks, Ricky Weeks Jr. the DH. Daniel Robertson hits 8th, plays second base, and Jesus Sucre, the catcher, will bat 9th.
Well, taking the mound tonight for the Chicago White Sox left-hander Jose Quintana, and it has been an odd year for the lefty. So consistent his first 4+ seasons in the big leagues, but in 11 starts this year, a 2-7 record and an ERA up over 5.5 at 5.60.
So here is Souza. Steven Souza Jr. in double figures with 10 home runs. And getting his first look at Jose Quintana. And he takes that pitch for a ball. 28-year-old lefty. This one skied to the right side into foul territory. Now back fair, and Abreu makes the catch.
Now let's take a look at that White Sox defense, brought to you by Gold and Diamond Source. In the outfield left to right, we have Melky Cabrera, Lurie Garcia, and Abisail Garcia. Across the infield, third to first, Todd Frazier, Tim Anderson, Yolmer Sanchez, and Jose Abreu, with Omar Narvaez behind the plate.
Corey Dickerson starting the night, 3rd in the league in hitting at .336 and 1st in the American League in total hits with 76. It's a ball, 1 ball, no strikes. One. Dickerson comes in hitting .353 against lefties. He's been the model of consistency here for the Rays. In the top couple spots of the order, there's a big rip and a miss at the fastball.
You know, that's why when you look to see how this offense has been put together, you know, some good right-handed pop, and then you get a guy like Corey Dickerson that is putting these numbers up against, well, lefties and righties, but especially against lefties. You start to wonder, how has this team struggled so much against left-handed starters?
Yeah, it's amazing. 7-12 coming into this one.
Oh, wow.
Well, that ball was hot going in and hot on the ricochet.
Yeah. That was a laser beam. Thankfully, missed everybody. I thought baseballs were round.
But they're flat on one side. Dickerson blips this one foul and out of play. There's no wonder it curves so easily.
You don't even mind that guy doing it. You could read his lips. He said, "First one ever." I'd be pretty jazzed too.
That ball's headed up the middle and out of the reach of Sanchez. Base hit for Dickerson, gonna head for 2. He's in there ahead of the throw. Taking advantage of Garcia in right center field. Avisail Garcia came in to make the pickup, and Dickerson never broke stride.
You can never assume with this team, and that's part of the scouting report coming into a series. You got to know that these Rays hitters are aggressive coming out of the box. You know, Kevin Kiermaier kind of got that trend started, but everybody's doing it now. And this ball, just a simple base hit into right center field. Avisail Garcia a little slow getting there, and Corey Dickerson takes full advantage.
18th double of the year. Dickerson hustling his way into 2 bases right there. So the Rays with a scoring opportunity for Evan Longoria. And the breaking ball is in for strike 1.
And Quintana keeps it pretty simple. Fastball, curveball, changeup. Move the ball around the zone. You can see that he's not overpowering, but has a pretty good idea how to pitch. The key is he's got to get those pitches to his spots, and that's what he's been struggling with here as of late.
Up and away, that one hitting 93. A lot of separation in his pitches when you go fastball, curveball, and changeup with him.
And that's good. You know, that gives you 3 different points of velocity. You know, your fastball at the high end, the curveball down at the low end, changeup in between. And if you can command those pitches, well, now you've got 3 different velocity points and a lot of different spots to cover. It works.
Fouled back. So it's 1-2. Quintana last year a 13-game winner, was 13-12, off to a 2-7 start this year. Up the right side, foul. Longoria still with that 1-2 count. Comes in off the plate, 2-2.
When a lot of times a guy that pitches like Quintana, you come with that fastball up and in, you hope for a chase swing. If you don't get it, now all of a sudden you can come with that curveball down in it. But he's got to get it there if that's what he indeed goes with.
Turn, nothing doing. Back in Dickerson.
You could see Narvaez almost looked like he was going to head to the outside corner, so maybe thinking the other side of the plate.
Longoria stepping back, getting a little complicated here.
Well, you saw Narvaez, and he was shook off 3 different times by Quintana trying to get to the pitch he wants.
And he missed to take the count 3-2.
Tried to sneak that fastball in on Evan. This one down. You got to be careful with that one.
Three-two pitch. And a little looper into right. That's going to fall for a base hit. Dickerson will head to the plate. That will tie the game. Well, it's not always how hard you hit it, but where you hit it. And that one just made the outfield for the RBI single.
And you wonder if this early run off Quintana starts to bring up the memories of the last couple of starts. You can see Evan was out in front on that breaking ball, but just caught it off the cup end of the bat. And you're right, Dwayne, perfectly placed. Drops it into shallow right field. The Rays answer. You know, Quintana coming into this start, his last 2, he had given up 15 earned runs in 7 total innings.
Now Logan Morrison, look out, that one stayed up and in, a breaking ball that would not break. So Morrison ducks that pitch.
There's the curveball. Not so much.
Now the 1-0. And that's a fastball that catches the zone. Morrison has a little conversation going with Todd Tishner already. He must know a lot of plate umpires because he talks with them a lot. And if he didn't, he gets to know them.
Oh yeah, he does by now. We've been through the league once.
1 ball, 1 strike.
You know, some hitters are you know, chattier than others, and a lot of them, whether they swing at a pitch, they take a pitch, they want to know, okay, was that a strike, or is that how far out you're going to go? You know, there's guys that want to get to know an umpire, and they want to get to know his zone as quickly as they can, and then a lot of times they disagree with that zone too.
Yeah, but trying to discern what that particular umpire's zone is, that's a smart thing to do.
They do. Any borderline pitch, you had that a strike, are you going to go any further than that? Usually they'll be, no, that's it. So now you know that's your end game, and that helps.
And a cut and a miss. Morrison out on strikes, missed the fastball up. 2 gone with Longoria at first.
Well, he just climbs the ladder here. 4-seam fastball. Right up near the letters, middle of the plate.
Well, Tim Beckham hit cleanup in the final game of the series of the road trip in Seattle, hitting 5th in this game. Fouls it the other way. Strike 1. 1-1. Fastball a little bit inside.
We saw that slide step from Quintana, another way he likes to try to control the running game. There's only been 4 stolen base attempts against him. Only 1 successful. Does have a pickoff.
Two and one. And Quintana can do a pretty good job of trying to contain the running game.
Well, that slide step was pretty quick. I mean, there was not much to it. The last delivery, he had the normal leg kick, but he'll mix in that slide step enough that it puts doubt in your mind. And if you choose to go on one of those, you're not going to make it. And then you mix in a slide step move and a regular move. You give a base runner a lot to think about. Not to mention he's staring right at you and has every advantage a pitcher could.
That catches the zone. 2-2. White Sox are running the first. The Rays are running the bottom of the first.
Now, how about that for the White Sox? A leadoff home run by Yolmer Sanchez to straightaway center field that went about 375 feet. You'll never see it again.
One of the stranger home runs we've seen. Chop toward the middle. Anderson with a toss to Sanchez for the force. Rays a run on a couple hits. We're tied 1-1. Tonight's Cold Hard Facts brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light. No strikeouts in any month for the Rays, and Chris Archer just completing May with 58 strikeouts to take that honor.
That pretty dominant month, obviously, as far as the strikeouts go. He's also on that list a couple other times. Pretty impressive, too.
Todd Frazier looks at a fastball. Second inning underway. 1-0. Frazier, Davidson, and then Anderson.
That's why you expect these opposing offenses to try to be aggressive with Chris Archer early, knowing that if you get to 2 strikes, you don't have much of a chance.
Check swing, hopper to first. Morrison takes care of it unassisted.
You know, not only does he run up the strikeouts, but the opponent's batting average with 2 strikes on him is 117, one of the lowest that you'll find in the game. So there's just no benefit to trying to have a long at bat against Chris Archer.
Well, here's Matt Davidson batting 259. There's a strike. White Sox over the last year plus have had interesting developments with a handful of players, and Davidson is one of them. They got him for Addison Reed. They like his bat. He's got good power. Oop, he's hit by that pitch. And so now they have a base runner with 1 out. Last year, in the second at bat he had for the White Sox, first game, second at bat, he was rounding first and broke a bone in his foot rounding first. So that's all they got to see of him. They think he's a good bat to have in the middle of the lineup. He could play third, but probably a DH most of the time. They had a couple other guys like that as well. There's Tim Anderson taking a pitch for a ball. And so they've waited a while to see some of these guys.
Yes. Well, right now he's tied for the team lead in home runs with 10. And we've often wondered when we watch the White Sox, are they ever going to completely tear it down and do a complete rebuild, or keep, you know, it seems like you've got the same kind of core players, and, you know, add a Melky Cabrera, add a veteran here to try to compete in the American League Central, which is, it's tempting to do so. It's a wide open division. And just have never been able to really gain any traction and get moving in the right direction. Maybe with the trade of Chris Sale and what they did there, now you're starting to look at a team that says, you know what, we're gonna tear this thing down and build it up the right way with prospects.
Well, it took them a while to get there, but they traded Adam Eaton to Washington and Chris Sale to the Red Sox. Got a bunch of prospects back. Fly ball into right off Anderson's bat. Souza Jr. puts that one away. 2 gone. It's never easy to do that and have to go through what you're going to go through. And Rick Renteria, the manager now, and you know, here's a guy. He was with the Cubs. Similar situation. They had some young players coming, and he was putting together that club. And then he was let go there. Joe Madden went in there. And now he's on the other side of town, on the south side of Chicago, with a bunch of younger players trying to make the pieces fit and do some evaluating and develop something with the White Sox. Omar Narvaez lifts the fly ball to left. Caught out there by Dickerson. No runs, a hit batter, and a man left. Bottom of the second coming. We're tied at 1. tonight at Tropicana Field. MLB.com at Bat is your #1 mobile app for live Rays baseball. Stay connected with a fully customizable experience. Get Rays home screen icons and app features, as well as live game video highlights, StatCast, and more. Download MLB.com at Bat today. Kevin Kiermaier will open the bottom of the second against the lefty. And he takes the fastball. That's in there for a strike. One and one. Two balls and a strike. That pitch down. Got a lot of conversation about Jose Quintana over the winter, all spring, early in the season this year. A tapper foul. There's some people in Chicago who think that has led to a big part of his problem too. Here's a guy kind of settled in with the White Sox. He's had some success, made the All-Star team. And you start hearing your name. Oh, he might go here, he might go there. Houston, one place. A little chopper down to first. Brayu steps on the bag. One away. That's not always easy to put up with and make those adjustments.
No, and let's look through his first 11 starts. Obviously on the right-hand side, ERA 5.60, the record 2-7. 2016, the same thing. His first 4-5 years in the league, his ERA was 3.41, and it never really fluctuated between like 3.8 and 3.2. I mean, it was always in that same little area. And obviously this year, he still has time to work that back down, but I think that absolutely plays a huge role. Not only that, but you remember this staff for the last few years. Chris Sale was the top dog lefty. Yep. All of a sudden now he's gone. You're the guy that's exposed, and oh, by the way, there's a bunch of other teams that are looking to potentially trade for you to be a difference maker. And that can't help but play on your mind and maybe then affect performance, maybe trying to live up to these standards of being a top dog for the Astros if they come and get you. And there's just a lot more going on in your mind than had been the last 5 years. And you figure as consistent as he has been, it's definitely played some type of role.
Comes in a little close to Weeks there on a pitch way ahead in the count. Now it's 1-2.
Well, it's not like these teams are backing off of him either. Anytime you read about the White Sox and he's starting, there's guys here tonight right now watching him on behalf of other clubs.
Weeks, did he go? Yes, he did on the appeal down to Bill Miller. Weeks not going to be all that happy. He is out number 2. Trying to check. Just a little bit too far. So the second strikeout for Quintana. Here's Daniel Robertson. Robertson a .213 average. And they're at second base tonight. Strike on that little foul ball.
The one thing that you can really see from Quintana is where he's able to create a little bit of deception is by not showing you the ball until it's just about at its release point. He does a great job of hiding his arm behind his body. Watch as he spins here and the hand comes out of the glove. So he's right behind the body, and then all of a sudden you don't pick it up until he's getting ready to release the baseball. You can't follow his arm path and his arm swing, which can make it easier for a hitter to get into rhythm. And so that's why, not being overpowering, he still has that deception.
Two balls and a strike. Sucre is on deck. Down to short. Anderson with a good arm, and the throw off the bag comes Abreu and safe the call. So Robertson is safely aboard. Anderson's throw to the plate side of the bag. Right now it stands as an error.
There's the catch off the bag, obviously, and then he's going to reach up for the tag. It certainly looked like he got him before the foot got to the bag. But we'll see. Everybody's waiting on Rick Renteria. No, maybe not. Maybe that ball, the glove's kind of floating in front of the chest, and he gets the arm. This will be a good look. The glove gets there, but doesn't touch him yet. Maybe there. I don't know if you risk it.
And the White Sox decide not to.
Yeah.
So Robertson reaches on the error. The 12th of the year charge to Anderson. Here's Sucre. There's a strike. The lob over to first. Sucre getting another start. Started the last game of the road trip when Norris had the back spasm. Day off yesterday, and he gets the start today. And the count is 1-1. Two balls and a strike. You mentioned the last couple games for Quintana and how he struggled against Arizona and Boston. And prior to that, he had put together a nice little run for about a half dozen starts and then ran into those numbers right there.
Yeah, that'll derail a season quickly. Yeah, he got off to a rough start, and then, like you said, settled down. Looked like things were. He actually got the ERA back below under 4. It was at 3.92. And then after the last two starts, it shoots up to over 5.5. It's just been, for Quintana, command issues within the strike zone and outside the strike zone. Not getting the ball consistently where he needs to.
Pop foul will carry into the stands, and the count is 2-2.
You know, as far as his career rates, and he has been so consistent as a starter, career high walk rate, career high home run rate, career high opponent slugging percentage. So, you know, the batting average against him isn't that much different. It's just many more of these balls are going for extra bases. And when he's giving up home runs, he's giving up homers with runners on base, which absolutely kill outings.
And he's given up 10 of those.
Yep. 7 with runners on. You know, the difference is you flip-flop those numbers, or at least the percentages. Over the course of his career, he was almost 70% home runs given up were solo, and you can live with those. But the 2 and the 3-run homers, extra base hits at a much higher rate, tough to sustain that.
Now the 2-2, and again a foul ball. That fastball in, fouled out of play. Top of the order would be next, Steven Souza Jr.
Those are the types of visits that you wonder what's, you know, you have signs. That you, instead of me having to go out there and talk to you about it and waste everybody's time, I just put a finger down, or 2 or 3, and a location. And if I do go out and talk to you, why am I putting any signs down? Didn't we already decide?
It could be some chicanery going on.
Well, there's
but who's going to steal a sign? So what's the point?
I don't. Well, you know what? If it was something that we didn't see an awful lot of, you just let it pass. Problem is, we see it all the time. Constant catcher to mound visits in these games.
What that tells you, and you would know better than I would, that tells you that the rapport between the two is not as good as you'd love it to be. Because when you're in sync, pitcher and catcher,
yep,
you're in sync.
Yeah. Well, we had a great close-up shot of last half inning of Narvaez calling signs, and he went through the signs. Remember, he went through 3 in a row where with a runner on second that Quintana shook. Then there was a step out, and then they come back in, and you're right. It's like they're trying to get on the same page, and things just are not moving smoothly. That's not a good feeling.
And a foul ball out of play. Starting to get a little rhythm there. Shake, shake, shake.
I had a catcher one time, Damian Miller, and there was something like this, an extended at bat, and he came out from behind the plate and started to come out towards the mound, and I shooed him back to the plate. Like, I don't even want to, don't come out, I have nothing to say to you. Just go back. Just about got into a brawl after that game was over for doing it. He said, "You ever shoo me away like that again in front of people, I'll take you out on the mound."
Pop up this time, right side foul, but playable. Abreu makes the catch. The Rays get a runner and leave him at first. We're at the end of 2 and we're tied at 1.
On Fox Sports Sun. It's always good news when you hear a player say they feel great after a rehab assignment, and that's exactly what Brad Boxberger said after an impressive 1-inning outing for Port Charlotte. Wilson Ramos caught a few of Boxberger's pitches in the bullpen before Monday's game. Ramos told reporters he was so excited to be back behind the plate. As for Boxberger, he struck out all 3 hitters he faced, throwing 14 pitches and 11 for strikes. The right-hander is still rehabbing a right flexor strain. He'll make his next rehab appearance on Thursday. Dwayne?
Boy, it'd be really interesting to see if the Rays could get those guys back to the point where they were before. And when you think about adding Boxberger for one, and then Wilson Ramos, and Matt Duffy has had issues getting on the field. But if you could get those guys back, and I mean, who knows? It's going to be what it's going to be. But that's like making a gigantic trade.
Oh, yeah.
To get guys like that back.
You would bolster your bullpen, and it would be another option for, we keep talking about getting the ball game from the starter to Alex Colomé, the closer. Boxberger gives you another option in that role. Wilson Ramos, his ability to swing the bat, be productive behind the plate. If he has to DH, you're going to strengthen your bench and strengthen your offense and your defense for that matter. You strengthen your team when you add Wilson Ramos. Some of these other guys too that are lingering out there, well, you're able to get them back, and you've got a team where Kevin Cash can keep guys fresh rotate guys in off the bench, not lose much production, and you'll have a fresh team, you know, heading in August and September when it matters.
Yeah, and that's one thing you can legitimately discuss about this team is Leury Garcia with a base hit to begin the inning, and here's Sanchez. I mean, those are legitimate points about this team going forward. You're going to need reinforcements. Every club's going to need it. And there's some names there. If they can get them healthy and ready to play, boy, what a big lift that would be. 1-0 the count to Yolmer Sanchez, who got credit for the home run in the first inning. You know, he has 10 home runs in his career, and 4 of those have come against the Rays now. And the Rays don't play the White Sox that often.
No.
And 2 of them have now been hit off Archer. Now this one, you know, you've got to put a little asterisk by the home run he hit in the first, but it still counts as a run. And so here's Sanchez up here with a 1-1 count. Going by the name Yolmer now. It's the same guy who was Carlos Sanchez the last couple of years. And apparently Yolmer his first name, Carlos his middle name, and he'd always gone by Carlos unless his wife became upset with him and she would call him Yolmer.
Oh.
So maybe he's adopted that as a motivator.
Maybe. You know, that's like, you know, when mom would call you by your first and middle name.
Yeah.
You knew it was big time trouble. In his case, you go by mom, you hear Yolmer coming from her mouth, you're in big time trouble. Yeah, I was wondering myself. I'm like, now who's this Yolmer character? I don't remember him.
Same guy.
Same guy.
The same guy at the end of the season last year in that series against the White Sox. Hit 2 home runs in the series, 1 of those off Archer. I mean, end of season like that, you think, I might keep that name, but you know, he's changed it. It's Yolmer now. And he's up in the count, 3-1. That's strike 2, full count.
It's one of the few teams where when I'm looking at their defense, and we're going to go through the defense at the beginning of the ball game, there was almost a thought of maybe a rehearsal to go in there. You know, Yolmer, Sanchez, Avisail, Garcia, Omar Narvaez. I mean, this is close to an all-name team.
And they have a Garcia on the bench in case you need 3 in the game at the same time. They've got the guy. Runner goes, pitcher cut and a miss, throw down, gonna get him out at second base. Garcia cut down at second on the strike him out, throw him out double play. Sanchez out of there. And that erases that leadoff base hit.
Boy, Jesus Sucre, the catch and release. I'll tell you what, he got rid of that so quickly. The ultimate fisherman, Dwayne.
He is fun to watch throw the baseball.
Boy, he just gets it out of that catcher's mitt and on its way to second or third base, even sometimes first base, as quickly as anybody in the game.
Base is empty for Melky Cabrera. Take a look at that peg down from Sucre.
Just no time at all. Seamless transfer and release. Accurate, and it's got some mustard on it.
Fly ball center field. Kiermaier.
Right at the wall.
Make sure he has that. Cabrera's out of there. And we go to the bottom of the third. Tied 1-1. Tonight's Geico great moment. It was on this day in 2001. The late southpaw Joe Kennedy made his major league debut against Toronto, picking up the victory, giving up 2 runs on 5 hits over 5 innings and striking out 5, becoming the first lefty to start for Tampa Bay in a stretch of 219 games. And there's an Albie Lopez sighting right there.
My room dog.
Yeah, how about that? Huh?
How about that? Good old Albie. We had some times, Dwayne.
I'm sure. No doubt about that.
Yeah, that was probably good that we only lived together for 1 off season.
It's all that the law would allow. Steven Souza Jr. leading off, then Dickerson and Longoria. It's a strike. White Sox got a run in the first. The Rays got one on the base hit by Longoria, scoring Dickerson. So the top 3 in the order up here in the bottom of the 3rd. Strike 2 on the corner. One and 2. Rays facing the 28-year-old lefty out of Colombia, Jose Quintana. Quintana in at 48 and 52 for his career, 2 and 7 this year. Two balls, 2 strikes. You know, in his situation, we talked about all that talk about trades and the possibility. And if you can ever really get that out of your mind, you know, you want to focus on the task at hand. But it's almost as if you're auditioning in one way or another every time you go to the mound.
Yeah, and that's what you have to fight. And you have to take it right back to the basics, the old, you know, keep it simple. You've got to find a way to do that, because if you do let the outside noise filter in, you will not perform up to standard. You just won't. The game's hard enough when you're completely focused.
Anderson short makes the play, and Souza Jr. is the first out. Yeah, that'd be tough. It's tough enough to go out there and do your job on any part of this field if you're not singularly focused.
Well, that's why tonight's start was so interesting for me, you know, coming into it, to see how he was going to respond because of the beatings that he's taken his last 2 times out there. And very uncharacteristic. Like we said, it was 7 innings total in the 2 starts against the Diamondbacks and the Red Sox. 7 innings, 18 hits, 15 earned runs on 4 home runs. And so how are you going to bounce back after that and make a start against a tough team on the road? And by the way, your team has dropped its last 5 games, and they're looking at you to turn it around.
Well, and that's the role he finds himself in with Chris Sale out of here.
He's the stopper now.
0-1 the count on Dickerson. 2 ball, 1 strike. Dickerson with a double came in hitting over 350 against lefties. 3rd in the American League overall. 1 and 2, and that little thumb guard popped off with that big swing.
We haven't seen that in a while.
Yeah, that was a regular occurrence.
Yes, it was.
Look at the doubles leaders now.
Yeah.
And Travis, Devin Travis getting involved now, heating up.
Yeah. Well, you know, Toronto has really started to turn things around. Another reason why the Rays need to get back on the winning track. Blue Jays, you know, they got Tulowitzki back, they got Donaldson back. Travis has started to heat up, and they've gained some ground.
Look at that, the start of the day. Just a half game back of the Rays. We play tonight in Oakland. Oh, chop. Right side, tough play. Sanchez makes it.
Yolmer. You got to give him a Yolmer on that play.
Yeah, it might give him 2 or 3 homers.
Yeah. Well, he understands. If I go to the glove, there's a chance I'm not going to get him. So he sells out, goes to the bare hand, and by a half a step, maybe a little less.
Well, for sure, give him 1 star by that. That was a difficult play and nicely executed on the bare hand pickup and throw on that chop. So the bases are empty. 2 outs, and here's Evan Longoria. Missing the breaking ball to start this sequence. One and one. Quintana, through the first couple innings, has made quite a few pitches. 24 in the first, 22 in the second. He's averaged 16.5 an inning overall this year. And it's now 2-2. Longoria out in front.
Taking advantage of a hitter's aggressiveness with that and 2-1 changeup. And actually that came out of the hand well below the zone. Still able to get the swing, get back into this count.
And strike 3 is called. Caught the corner on that one. 3 up, 3 down. Go the Rays. We go to the 4th. 1-1 ball game. Cheap. Ball game moves into the 4th inning. White Sox got a run in the first. The Rays answered with 1 in their first, and now Chris Archer begins the 4th with Jose Abreu stepping in. First pitch is down and away. Fastball out there. Jose Abreu, now 30 years old. Piece of that one fouled. It's 1-1. Chris Archer, 3 strikeouts through the first 3 innings. 2 in the first, another one in the third. Now 2-1 with Abreu. Avisail Garcia will be next. And then Todd Frazier. So the middle part of this order with some pop. Foul back 2-2.
Dwayne, just to follow up on a story we talked about out in Seattle, the Super Regional is getting ready to start for Division I college baseball. Oregon State went through their regional, just ran through it. They're 52-4. Baseball, 52-4. Oregon State, the Beavers.
Yep. Fly ball, right center. Kiermaier just in front of the track handles that one. Well, it's weather doesn't help them. Oh, maybe the weather does help them out. I don't know, but in terms of getting ready and repetition and playing, it certainly doesn't.
Think about that. You would not think of Oregon State as a baseball hotbed. By the way, this is no fluke. You know, they've been doing this here for a while now. When you think about Corvallis, or you think about the conference they play in, all the California schools, all those prospects out there, and yet they just run through it year in and year out. 52-4. That's still hard. I mean, that's hard to do in baseball.
Yeah, the nature of the game almost prevents that automatically. There's so many variables in each game, each team, each season.
Yeah, and even if you were thinking that they were in a weaker conference and build up a record like that, no, they're in Pac-12. It's a pretty good conference. Arizona, Arizona State, UCLA. You got some guys that can play ball.
2-1. 2-0 slider to get the swing and miss by Garcia.
Well, he's pitching Garcia backwards. You remember the swing that struck him out in his first at bat, clearly looking for that slider with 2 strikes, and he powered the fastball by him, and now mixing it up behind in the count.
Yeah, he may have hit, I think, I haven't checked, I think 97 is the high water mark tonight so far for Archer, and it was on that pitch to Garcia. We've got one more at 98, so the second highest is that pitch. There's a shot, one hop, skipping by Longoria to his left. That ball sharply hit. Garcia's going to go for 2, and he's going to make it a double. Boy, he hit that ball hard. Longoria made an effort, but he probably heard it more than he saw it.
Yeah, well, this was a slider that stayed in the middle of the plate. This is not the put away. Actually stayed maybe middle in. And Garcia, we know he was looking for that slider with 2 strikes on him the first at bat. Got one he could handle here and pops it right by Longoria and deep enough to get out to second base. You know, coming into this season in his career batting average was 258, and now up over 330.
Yeah, we had 245 last year.
Yeah. Always been a power guy, production, the talent's always been there. Finally putting it all together in all the facets this year.
1-0. Well, the White Sox will tell you that they sense he's a lot more serious. Not that he wasn't before, but he's more focused this year. He came to camp about 20 pounds lighter. 2-0. Todd Frazier. Big power, a lot of strikeouts. That's a strike on the corner, or close to it. 2-1.
That's what Todd Frazier is saying right now to Todd Tichenor. And a chance to be up 3-0, and now 2-1 on that slider. And that's the pitch that gives him trouble. You know, he's a middle in guy for power, but if you can execute on that outside corner, down and off the plate, like a lot of hitters, they're going to struggle with it, but especially Todd Frazier. You can see why right there, how he just cut himself off on that swing, and that wasn't even that was a strike slider. That wasn't your strike 3 slider. This thing stays on the plate almost the whole way. You could still see Frazier pulling off of it. Not able to stay down and through it.
Garcia at second, 1 out, 2-2 the count. And he comes right back and strikes him out with another slider.
That's it. That's where he's susceptible. Now this was your put away slider, and watch how badly Frazier pulls off of this one. That front hip already gone. The bat's not even long enough to reach it.
Number 24, Matt Davidson.
Now it's Matt Davidson. Davidson hit by a pitch his first time. And there's a strike on the outside edge. Two. Garcia is double, picking up the 3rd hit allowed. He's at second with 2 outs. Off the plate away. And a shot there with the slider. 2-2. Rays and the White Sox beginning this 3-game series tonight. Swing and a miss. Strikes him out with a slider. Back-to-back strikeouts. It's 5 on the night. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Rays and the White Sox tied at 1. Baseball on Fox Sports Sun, brought to you by your local Ford dealer. By Frontier Communications. Get Files TV, internet, and voice today. By Jeep. Get great deals at the Jeep Spring Clearance Event. And by your local Toyota dealers. Let's go places. Rays facing the left-hander Jose Quintana tonight. Logan Morrison will lead off the fourth. Tim Beckham and then Kevin Kiermaier. Pitch breaking ball stays in. 1-0. Morrison came into the game lifetime hitting .333 off Quintana, 4 for 12. And a take there on a pitch wide, 2-0. High towering fly ball down the right side. Where did that ball go? It's going to be caught by Garcia. Boy, he stayed right with that one because it got up there around the rings. And to stay with that and catch it, you got to give Garcia some credit.
No doubt. Dwayne, that was a B. That may have gone up and over top of the B ring. It was, you're right, way up there in the rafters. And look at Avisail Garcia. Just follow it, never take his eyes off of it, even with everything that's in his way. And he's going to make this play. Not easy at all, especially for a visitor.
Almost had home run depth on that compared to the home run in the first inning.
Oh, man. Well, that was an amazing play that Kiermaier made, too, against Melky Cabrera to finish out the third inning. Going right back up against the wall. Maybe robbed him of a home run.
Yeah, it'd be a good 315 feet. Big swing and a miss by Beckham.
That was one of the strangest things I've ever seen. From the route that Kiermaier took, where he just ended up overrunning, it was too quick, and where the ball had that little fading action to it and fell harmlessly to the turf, to the home run call that stood.
One and two, the count to Beckham. Rays answered that with a run in the first, and that's the only scoring so far. Tried to check and apparently did. 2-2.
Breaking ball in the dirt. Yes, he did.
Good call by Bill Miller, the crew chief, down at first.
I had him at second base.
And a foul ball up the right side, out of play. Let's go back and revisit that home run in the first. Look at that drive.
Follow the ball deep, and gone. When you get the reaction, yes, I'm with Chris on this one. When you get the reaction of Sanchez that you got right there,
yeah,
that tells you he knows he got away with one.
That's right. Yeah, and if that wasn't enough, later the bicep pump was the clincher. So a 1-1 ball game, bottom of the fourth. Tim Beckham. 2-2 the count. And he's out on the corner. Out number 2. Took the pitch in just on that corner.
Perfectly located by Quintana, and he's showing that ability to get to his pitches to both sides of the plate. When he's able to do that, it forces you to defend and have to cover that entire play, that's when he is very good.
Kevin Kiermaier. Strike one. Up the middle and a base hit off the fastball. Kiermaier makes a big turn and puts on the brakes. Thought about it and decides to hang on right there.
Well, Leury Garcia was kind of shading towards left center field, and when the ball went off the bat, of course Kiermaier's already thinking too, but Garcia was really, watch him out here and watch how aggressively he goes after this base hit, because he knows Kiermaier's thinking double, so he's got to get to it right now.
And here's the thing about Garcia out there. He leads the major leagues in assists with 7, and he loves to throw. I mean, why not?
Right.
And so he got there, and suddenly Kiermaier put on the brakes. Ricky Weeks Jr. at the plate now. This is a strike. Five strikeouts in the game for Quintana. Weeks was the second strikeout back in the second inning. Takes it a little bit off. 1-1. He's opening the series against Chicago. Mike Pelfrey will pitch tomorrow night for Chicago, and Jacob Faria will get his major league debut in tomorrow's game, starting that one for the Rays. Odorizzi and Holland, game 3. Jake Odorizzi Thursday night. Derek Holland, the left-hander for the White Sox. Outside with a fastball. 3-1.
Quintana obviously paying attention over there to Kevin Kiermaier. 2 outs with his speed. Do you possibly send him? Quintana's thinking the same thing, and he's missed the zone here, and now going to give Ricky Weeks what should be a pretty good pitch to take a hack at. If not, you're going to get a runner in scoring position on a walk.
And he takes a big swing at the fastball. 3-2.
Able to time up just enough, and you can see Kiermaier goes out and gets his lead and then starts to inch back towards first base. You know, all the while as a pitcher, you're processing all of that, and got to make a pitch too. They'll be going here.
2 outs, full count. And the move over there, Kiermaier back to the bag.
And we see that more and more, because if you're going to steal a bag off a left-handed pitcher, you've got to go on first movement. However, when you're running in a 3-2 count with 2 outs, you have to see that left-hander deliver the ball towards home plate. You go on first movement, he's going to pick you off.
3-2, and there is strike 3 called. Quintana against Weeks Jr. looking, and we're headed on to the 5th, tied 1-1. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow for the Wednesday showdown driven by GMC. Mike Pelfrey, the right-hander, on the hill for the visiting White Sox. Jacob Faria makes his debut, his big league debut. And our coverage begins at 6:30 on Fox Sports Sun tomorrow. Tim Anderson leading off the fifth. 7, 8, and 9 due up here for the White Sox. 1-0 the count. This one pulled foul. Fastball got around, pulled it out of play. Seven-game homestand opening tonight. Perseverance, he stayed with it and finally corralled that foul ball. Upstairs, 2-1. 3 games of the White Sox, 4 with Oakland, including Saturday's doubleheader. Tapper foul. Rays coming in off the 4-5 road trip, swept by Seattle to end it. The second time they have been swept in a series this year. And that is strike 3. Anderson tried to hold up, could not. Strikeout number 6.
And that slider strikeout percentage continues to climb. Down and away. Cannot hold up. Didn't help himself either by immediately turning to head back to the dugout before it was finalized.
Omar Narvaez up there. Pitch is a strike. Narvaez came into the game hitting .271. Into left center field. Dickerson leaps, making the catch on the run. Well, for a moment it appeared that Dickerson might not get there. That ball had a little slice back to him, and he made that little leap just enough to make the catch.
Well, you're going to see where he's at. I mean, he's right over here in the corner, close. And watch this ball off the bat. You're thinking he's playing a little bit too shallow. Not so much. Over the shoulder. Difficult catch there by Corey Dickerson, and it robs extra bases.
He made it with the greatest of ease, as it turns out, on the replay.
Yes, he did. Never in doubt. Such a big play. You're talking about 2 pitchers right now on the top of their game here in the mid part of this contest. Everything matters.
2 outs and a strike. The count on Garcia now. Leury Garcia. Fouls that fastball. That one at 97 up. Took a rip. Well, the Rays are trying to get back to 500. They've been at 500 more than any other team in the major leagues this year. Swing and a miss. Garcia's out of there. Slider takes care of him. 2 more strikeouts in the inning. 7 in the game, and here's the catch by Dickerson. Tie game 1-1 mid-5. T-Mobile. The Houston Astros have won 11 in a row. The American League Player of the Week is George Springer. Here's the thing about Houston. They not only have the best record, best winning percentage in baseball, they're 20-10 at home, and they're underperforming their overall season's winning percentage at home. Their home winning percentage is .667. They're .724 overall. They've gone 22-6 on the road.
Yeah,
22-6.
It's absurd. They're the Oregon State of Major League Baseball, Dwayne.
Well, here's Daniel Robertson.
Let me ask you this:
1-1.
Right now, running away with the West. Huge double-digit lead on everybody.
Yep.
Is that a team that still goes out and feels that they need to make a move at the deadline when they're going to be comfortably ahead? You think? You would assume. I mean, right now, look at that.
14 up on the Angels and Mariners.
Do you sit back and say we don't need to do a thing, or is there a move to be made there?
I think they continue to evaluate, and if they can make a move, and here's the reason, and they would try to add an arm.
Yeah.
Well, you want dominant arms postseason.
That's amen.
So there you go.
There's your answer. 100%. You can have the deepest and best starting rotation. You know, in meaningful series, you're going to see the top three, maybe the top four, and you'll see the fourth guy once. So you need those top end guys. That's what makes the difference.
They have to be shut down guys.
Right on. 100%.
3-2, and there's ball 4. Nicely done by Robertson to draw the first walk. Done for the second time.
Well, we said every play in games like this, you're in the mid part of the game, you got two pitchers that have been throwing well. Everything matters. Lead off walk, and let's see here if the Rays ask Sucre to lay down a bunt.
Or they could just have Robertson steal second, and then Sucre gets a base hit. That's when he collects all his hits with men in scoring position.
That is true too. The stealing of second will be the tough part.
That's the issue. Only one stolen off Quintana all year. He swings away and lifts a high popper foul. Abreu's going to have a play, and he makes the catch. So after the walk, Sucre is retired on the foul pop. A 1-1 ball game, folks. And here's the top of the order, Steven Souza Jr. Rays coming around for the third time now. Souza 0 for 2. He's popped to first and grounded to short. The strike, talking about the Rays trying to get back to 500. If they win tonight, they will be at 500 for the 20th time this year. When you think about that, this is their 60th game. One and one to count, trying to get back to 500 again. Fluctuated, couple over, 3 over, 1 over, 1 under, 2 under, back to 500. Robertson back in at first. And that's why you think, well, we're talking about getting some of those guys back. And in some cases, for the first time, but you've got Wilson Ramos and Brad Boxberger, some of those guys that you'd like to add. That could make a difference. You've got to stay relevant.
And the East is going to be a dogfight. We've already seen that. No reason to think that it's going to change going forward. Those interdivisional games are going to be very, very important. But also, when you play teams that you should beat, you've got to go out and win those series consistently. 2-2. Miss on the fastball.
Down to just over 90 pitches now. There's Dickerson on deck. And the count goes full. Connor comes in 1-3 against the Rays with a .327 earned run average. 1-1 here at the Trop with a .212. Runner goes, pitch inside for a ball. So the Rays will have 2 men on. Robertson off with that pitch. 2 walks in the 5th.
Yeah, you've got to cash these in. And you're waiting for the first starting pitcher here tonight to blink, and so far it's been Quintana here with the walks to the 8-hole Robertson, and then obviously the leadoff hitter Souza Jr. getting Dickerson to the plate, who's had his way with left-handed pitchers this season.
Well, this is the guy you think you might want up there.
Boy, right at the top of the list in all these categories, the average, the extra base hits. That's the thing. You know, he's not sacrificed any power or production with the higher average. Uses the whole field. Always stays relevant.
Third leading hitter in the American League coming into play tonight. More hits than anybody else in the league. More total bases than anybody else in the league. 1 for 2 in this game. And a liner into center field. Garcia going back will make the catch, and the runners are going to have to hold. Ball loose, coming back in. Robertson's going to go to third. He's in there safely, and trailing into second goes Souza Jr. Big mistake on the throw back in by Chicago, and heads up by Daniel Robertson, racing over to third, and Souza Jr. trailed into second.
Boy, just sloppy. Garcia trying to get that ball in quickly. Little English on it. Tim Anderson cannot scoop it. Daniel Robertson with a great read, and then in his haste he overruns that ball, and that allowed Dickerson to move up to second. So there were a couple of different mistakes there made by the White Sox, and now you got 2 runners in scoring position. Well, I'll tell you, this has been a sloppy inning all around by Chicago.
A couple of walks and that big error. So it's second and third, 1 out.
Rick Renteria himself going out there to rally the troops after that sloppy exchange.
2 gone with Evan Longoria. Walk to Robertson. 1 out walk to Souza on the fly ball to center by Dickerson. A move up on the error. The error charged to Garcia in center. They're going to walk Longoria to load the bases. So the intentional walk here. And Logan Morrison will bat with him loaded.
Remember that last at bat, that towering shot to right field. Morrison just missed that one.
Oh for 2 tonight, 4 for 14 in his career against Quintana. And he takes this one just a little low, the breaking ball. So he gets the count running in his favor. Well, this is the first opportunity the Rays have had since the first White Sox had a 1-out double in the 4th, left the man on. Bases loaded, 2 outs in the 5th for the Rays. Foul back. Another fastball.
And you saw right there Quintana go to the slide step. That's where you use the slide step, not as a weapon to control the running game. You try to mess with the timing of the hitter. Now he's used to the leg kick, and then all of a sudden you slide step. He's got to get himself ready to go just a little bit sooner. So you're using that there for the hitter, having nothing to do with what's out on the base paths right now.
And strike 3 called. Looking at the fastball, the Rays leave it loaded. We're through 5. Our game is still tied 1-1. There is strike 3. We're through 5. The Rays and the White Sox. Yomer Sanchez got credit for a home run on that fly ball that eluded Kiermaier, who broke to his left, only to see the ball angle back to his right. Chris Archer holding this lineup since the first. The Rays got their run in the first when Evan Longoria drove in a run, scoring Corey Dickerson. A line on Quintana. And here is the 6th inning underway with Sanchez. 1 strike to count on him. It's a soft little liner. Well, he didn't hit it hard, but in the right spot. Sanchez has a leadoff single.
Well, he was able to get that swing out there just long enough to get that ball into right field. There's the changeup. He's out in front, right off the end of the bat. The bat was sacrificed right there. I guess you would do that to get a base hit, especially a leadoff base hit against Chris Archer in this tightly contested game.
There's Melky Cabrera. He jabs at it, bunts it foul, pops it up and out of the reach of Longoria.
You know, the rule of thumb when you're bunting, if you're jabbing, it's not going to go very well. You almost want to use the bat as a glove and catch that ball being delivered towards home plate. You get squared around, you have a little angle with your bat, you just want to catch that baseball and deaden it out in front to move that runner along. And Cabrera, like you said, kind of punched at it. It's not going to work.
1-1. You saw Chris Beck a moment ago. Busy in the White Sox bullpen, the right-hander loosening. It's 2-1. White Sox with the leadoff man on for the third time in this game. Twice that has been Sanchez. Three and one. Walks given up, a hit batter. 7 strikeouts. 3-1. Shot foul. Count's going to go all the way to 3-2. With a man on, pace has changed a bit. Runner goes, pitch is foul back.
We saw it with the Rays and Daniel Robertson, here with Sanchez. Both of these managers trying to create something, sitting back and trying to put together 2-3 hits in an inning. Not very easy against these two guys here tonight. So you're trying to create something, put a guy in motion, see if he's off and running again, trusting that Cabrera is going to put the ball in play.
Runner goes, a pitch, swing and a miss, throw down, they're going to get it. He is out at second base. Second base runner thrown out tonight by Sucre as Cabrera strikes out. So another strike him out, throw him out, double play for the Rays.
And this is why you've got to trust him to put in play. If you don't, we've already seen Sucre showing off the catch and release. Plenty of time. Look at that throw right on the money, and Beckham is waiting for Sanchez. Not even close. That is just too good from the Rays catcher.
Base is empty. 2 gone. Here's Abreu. Swinging at the fastball. Strike 1. White Sox now 18 steals on the year, 16 caught steals.
Yeah, it's a coin flip, truly.
One and one.
And here's the thing too, Yolmer Sanchez, and we saw him get thrown out by plenty on that last one. He was 3 of 8 coming into play here tonight. Not the best percentage.
Now 3 of 9 now, which is turned upside down from what you want to be. One ball, 2 strikes, the count on Jose Abreu. Swing and a miss. He's out on strikes. Fastball gets him. 2 more strikeouts in the inning, including the one to end it on the high fastball. 1-1 tie.
Fox Sports Sun. Welcome back to the Trop. Now, coming up this Saturday on June 10th, the Rays are hosting the Oakland A's, and it's a doubleheader. You can see 2 games for the price of 1, and the first 15,000 fans will receive a Matt Duffy bobblehead. You guys, we've talked a lot about this bobblehead, but I've really been thinking, do you think they put 2 heads on here? Get it? Double header? But
Ooh, maybe.
You know, I like the way you're thinking.
Yeah.
Yep. Like it.
I hadn't given that any thought either, but leave it to Alex.
Yeah. Well, hey.
It's only taken her 2 months, Dwayne. She's already lead the charge. This group of misfits.
That's right. More action down in the bullpen. Dan Jennings joins Beck. Righty and a lefty. 1-0 the count on Tim Beckham leading off. And this pitch is upstairs. It's 100 pitches now for Quintana tonight. His single game high this year is 110. So both the righty and the lefty up in the bullpen. Three 3-0 to Beckham.
Well, it was 2 walks the last half inning with the Rays, and actually a third, but intentional. But Quintana showing a little struggle here later in the game to be able to be consistently in the strike zone.
Rays turn him loose there. 3-1. It's Kevin Kiermaier on deck. Fastball is fouled back, so the count is full. Rays were held homerless in the final game on that road trip Sunday in Seattle. They had a streak of 6 games with multiple home runs. (3-2) and there's ball 4. A couple extra pitches to get it, but the leadoff walk handed to Beckham. So all 4 walks, including the intentional walk, coming in the last inning plus. Kevin Kiermaier.
And you'd like to obviously not let Quintana off the hook again. And leadoff walks are deadly. And here's another chance to put something together. Boy, you got to check out where Todd Frazier is.
Kiermaier takes a strike.
That's where he started. He finished even closer.
Slow block for the Chicago catcher. 1-1.
Narvaez, a 2-seam fastball. He got lucky there too. You see a lot of times when a guy doesn't swing that glove around and smother that pitch, tries to backhand it, it hits the side of that glove and can ricochet.
Yeah, it's not a high percentage approach.
No, not at a pitch that's 92 miles an hour straight into the dirt.
Ground ball, that's going to go through the right side. Somehow Beckham managed not to be hit by that chopper, and the Rays have men at first and second. That was quite an effort by Beckham to get out of the way as Kiermaier chopped it through.
Pull it over in the hole, and there's Beckham. Here it comes. Yeah, that is outstanding. The hurdle. Well, he had no chance. That was tracking him hard, and he's able to hop up and over, and the Rays really threaten here now. 2 base runners, nobody out.
Beckham high hurdled that chopper. Moves up to second. Men at first and second, nobody out. Ricky Weeks Jr. is due. And a visit to the mound by Rick Renteria.
Yeah,
He's been in his own way a little animated the last couple trips out there.
he was, and he went out there, and you're thinking they're going to make the move with his pitch count, those double barrel action in the bullpen, and instead it was an encouraging session, trying to get his starter going here. 2 runners on, nobody out, and he was very animated, and the discussion was one-sided. I don't think he meant anything except to go out and encourage and say, hey, let's make some pitches and let's get out of this inning.
Ricky Weeks Jr. 0 for 2, a couple of strikeouts. Which has popped up, a foul ball, carries back and out of play. Well, 3 times Quintana's reached 100 pitches coming into this one. This would be the 4th, and he's 2 pitches away from equaling his single game high in pitch count. And he throws that pitch in there for a strike. 0-2. A ball, 2 strikes. Rays left the bases loaded. They were walked that way in the 5th. Into the dirt. That one will skip by the catcher Narvaez, and now both men are in scoring position. Wild pitch sends Beckham to 3rd and Kiermaier to 2nd.
Now the breaking ball, and he just snaps it off too early. That ball down and in, and saw how it came up so high on Narvaez. Glance right off the side of the helmet, the shoulder area, just could not get out over in front of it. And now you've got a real opportunity, infield about halfway.
2-2 to Weeks. And the take there on a pitch very close. Down, says Tishner. 3-2.
It could have gone either way.
Chopper foul to the coaching box. We'll do it again. Now a visit to the mound. Beckham's at 3rd. Kiermaier's at 2nd. Boy, that ball 3 call was borderline. We've seen Tishner call a handful of wide pitches. He might give a little bit that way. Not very giving down. And a full count. Swing and a miss. A big strikeout there for Quintana, going 3-2 to Weeks, and he's out for the 3rd time tonight on strikes.
He saved his best fastball for last, down and away, put it in a perfect spot, and able to sneak it by and get that much needed strikeout, and this will effectively end the night for Quintana.
114 pitches. He picks up his 7th strikeout. Pitching change coming for the White Sox. Back in a moment. Rays are threatening here in the bottom of the 6th inning. And Jose Quintana's evening is complete.
Well, it was a nice bounce back for Jose Quintana after his last 2 starts. However, we'll see if these walks later in the game end up doing him in, or at least the 1 walk. But he moved the ball around the zone, pitched exactly like we thought that he would. A lot of fastballs and curveballs, change location, change eye levels, the occasional changeup. And right now, just the 1 earned run in 5 1/3, but does have a couple of guys floating out there on 2nd and 3rd. Now bases loaded with 1 out and Sucre at the plate.
And they've intentionally walked Miller, who had pinch hit for Robertson. So the bases are full. Jesus Sucre up here to face Chris Beck. 26-year-old right-hander. Low and outside, and what a stop right there. Well, that fastball got up there in a hurry, and a challenge to stop that one.
Boy, he had no play except for the backhand. Out of desperation, not a chance, and he does it as that ball's almost by him before it gets into the webbing of that glove. What a saving play there by the Chicago catcher.
It's wide, 2-0. Beck making his 17th appearance. He was in 25 games last year with the White Sox. 2-2 with a .639. And there's that pitch down for ball 3. Close pitch, but low, says Todd Tishner. It's 3 balls, no strikes. And he takes it. That's a strike. 3-1. Walk, single, intentional walk, bases loaded, 1 out. 3-1. It's foul. Fastball, mid-90s right there, and the count is full.
Well, he's climbed right back into it. Now this is the big one. And you think with the way that Beck started this at-bat here with Sucre that he's not going to veer and venture from that fastball. Challenge fastball. At least that's what you're sitting on.
Three-two. Ground ball. Second base. Out there. Anderson's throw to first in time. Beck got the glove back and let it go through. Sanchez started it on a 4-6-3 double play.
We are still tied up 1-1, and for Chris Archer, starting to rack up the strikeouts once again, and it's been majority of the time it has been that slider right there, perfectly located, a chase fastball, but more times than not, it's the breaking ball. Todd Frazier right there reaching. Davidson off the plate. Tim Anderson can't hold up, and the list goes on and on and on. That's the story of the night here. Chris Archer keeping the Rays in it by being dominant on the hill and racking up 9 strikeouts in 6 innings to go against, right there, 0 walks. Don't hurt yourself.
So it's been an efficient outing tonight for Chris Archer. Brad Miller, after entering the game as a pinch hitter and drawing an intentional walk, stays on to play second. Avisail Garcia leading off here in the 7th. Upstairs, Garcia doubled with 1 out in the 4th inning. One sharply down the left side. And sends one deep to left this time. Dickerson will go back, look up, and it is gone. Gone with plenty to spare. Garcia's 9th home run of the year. And that's going to make it 2-1. He has 2 of the 5 hits tonight for Chicago and gives the White Sox the lead.
Dwayne, that was over the C ring, maybe even the D ring, a hanging slider, and it got torched. Those are the ones that get smoked, and Garcia, we've talked a lot about his average, still has all that power. Well, that went to the moon.
Todd Frazier takes ball 1. High popper, foul ball right side. That's going to fall out of play. And it's 1-1. So the Rays missing an opportunity in the bottom of the 6th. In fact, they've left 5 men on base in the last 2 innings, 8 in the game. And no sooner do the Rays ground into the inning-ending double play than Garcia opens the 7th with a go-ahead home run.
Well, and this is about the time of the game that we start to see, Chris Archer, he relies so heavily on that slider. But the last couple of starts, you get to this part of the game, and all of a sudden that pitch starts to flatten out a little bit. Not quite as sharp or with the same kind of depth as earlier in the game. Garcia able to capitalize there. He throws every pitch with such effort. You look at the velocity and the spin on that slider.
Three and 2. Matt Davidson on deck. Popped up right side. That will carry out of play. Stand with the slider against Frazier.
And it's a right pitch. We've seen that when he executes it. That was another one that stayed up, though, was hittable. And really concentrate on location here.
3-2, shot back into center. Kiermaier's there to make the catch.
And that, that was another one. Here's another one. I know he's trying to throw it for a strike, but this is a pitch here that, Todd Frazier, when he's swinging the bat well and he's going right, here it is, slider. That's not sliding.
Designated hitter, Matt Davidson.
That's the first out in the 7th. Matt Davidson. Fastball for a strike. 1-1. Slider 1-2.
Yeah, that was a really good one right there, and he threw it with better velocity. That's the one that has the late depth to it that hitters they think they've got a read on it, and they do not. Boy, this is well executed.
Very high with a fastball. 2-2. Shortstop Tim Anderson on deck. Swing and a miss on the slider. 10 strikeouts for Archer tonight. Second time he's got Davidson on the slider. Another look.
Yeah, made the adjustment here and really jumped on these last two. That velocity's gone from 86, 87 back up to 89, and you're getting the finish that you want.
Shortstop Tim Anderson.
Now Tim Anderson. Pitch is upstairs. That's a strikeout there on the corner. Now 1-1. Veteran up, Anthony Swarzak in the bullpen. It's a strike, 1-2. Archer 10 strikeouts. Upstairs, 2-2. And he got it. Strikes him out with a slider. That's 11. The 5th time he's had 11 or more strikeouts in a game, and that's the most this year. 5 with 11 or more strikeouts. 2-1 Chicago. Baseball on Fox Sports Sound is brought to you by your Southern Chevy dealers. By Jeep, get great deals at the Jeep Spring Clearance Event. And by Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. into the Rays dugout. Jim Hickey, the Rays pitching coach. Chris Archer has given the Rays 7 innings of 5-hit, 2-run baseball. Rays are down 2-1 going into the bottom of the 7th. Chris Beck, who got Chicago out of a big spot in the 6th, still out there, and Steven Souza Jr. takes a pitch just a little off the plate. 1-0. Souza walked in the 5th, nothing of 2 otherwise. There's one down the left field line. It's going to be foul. And it's 1-1.
Well, just a little bit out in front of that breaking ball. Had the distance. That's what the Rays need. Down a run now. Back into this Chicago bullpen.
Two balls and a strike. Well, the White Sox have this lead after 6, and you can see how successful they've been. 19-0 when leading after 6 innings.
Well, that's not going to hold up over the course of the season, so you might as well throw that first one in here tonight. And get another leadoff walk, base runner too.
Jennings up again. Swarzak was up last inning.
Spiewak, he always shows up. He cannot hide from us.
Now the 3-1, and the Rays have a base runner to open the inning.
This is the 3rd inning in a row with a leadoff walk. It's come high time to cash it in. You don't get too many opportunities like this.
Well, 6 walks, all have come in that spread. And Dickerson's due up. Pitching change coming for the White Sox. Braves are down by a run. They've had a couple of missed opportunities here in the 5th and 6th innings.
Well, bases loaded right here with 2 outs, and Quintana able to get the strikeout. And then after falling behind 3-0, Beck able to coax this on a full count. Smartly gets his glove out of the way. And the White Sox able to turn that double play and get out of that inning. Another leadoff walk here for the Rays in the 7th after Chicago takes the lead. Can they finally get it done?
Well, there's Corey Dickerson to face Jennings, the lefty. And a high fly ball into right. Garcia is there and makes the catch.
With just enough off of that breaking ball, got to the end of the bat. All the power was gone. You know, Dan Jennings gives you some herky-jerky-ness out on the mound, and that's gonna conclude his outing, Dwayne. It's gonna be all of one pitch.
One pitch, one out, one appearance. Jennings will depart.
Oh, unless we're gonna get a okay. Here he comes.
So the White Sox want the right-hander. Back in a moment. The 7th. Here's what's coming up tomorrow on Rays Live. Pre-game shows presented by your Gulf Coast Honda dealers. Jacob Faria is going to make his major league debut. Orestes and Doug will discuss the MLB's record home run and strikeout pace. Anthony Swarzak, 31-year-old right-hander, in to face Evan Longoria. And misses with a pitch a little bit wide. 1 on, 1 out. Souza Jr. at first.
Well, more than a strikeout an inning. He's been very good for Rick Renteria. You see that opponent's average below 200 too.
And a big cut on the fastball. Up a bit and out over the plate.
Yes, it was. Evan Longoria would love to see that pitch again. You could get your arms extended. It's up in the zone, so you got a chance to get that ball airborne and do some damage.
Pops it up. Foul ball. Narvaez, the catcher, there to make the catch.
Same thing. He just got Evan a little bit out of sync. The rhythm of the swing is a little bit out in front, and sometimes that's all it takes. Just everything is spent a little too soon, and that leads to the pop-up.
Well, Logan Morrison is due. 2 outs and a man on. And the White Sox talk it over out there. Todd Tisner marches to the mound to break it up. Morrison called out on strikes with the bases loaded in the 5th inning. He is 0 for 3. Sharply hit foul up the right side for a strike.
Swarzak exclusively fastball and little slider. Start to think about these righty-lefty matchups. You start to think about the changeup. Swarzak has not thrown one.
Tommy Hunter still up in the Rays bullpen. One and one. Swing and a miss. Missed the fastball.
Boy, the White Sox wanted that pitch in. They're trying to tie Logan Morrison up in, and that pitch was almost up and away. Got away with one there. Gonna try it again. Up and in.
Runner goes and the pitch is foul. And he got it up but out over the plate.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's where you get into danger territory. And Logan Morrison, we don't even need to remind everybody of the kind of power that he has. Top of the leaderboard in the American League.
Rays have left 8 men on base tonight. Souza's at first. He opened the 7th with a walk, still over there with 2 gone. 1-2. Morrison fouls it back. Another fastball. He's getting up there in 94, 95 range.
You got to treat in these types of situations with guys that have the power that Morrison has. Every pitch you throw like it's your last. Because if it doesn't go well, it probably will be the last of the night for you.
One, two again. That's down. Two balls, 2 strikes. A step back right there. Swarzak last year pretty even against righties or lefties. There's ball 3 down, and he's gone to 3-2 now on Morrison.
And Morrison has seen a lot of pitches in this at bat. Already said that it's fastball, slider. That's it from Swarzak. So Logan Morrison has seen a number of pitches, start to get a little bit of a comfort level. And now, in theory, you're going to force Swarzak out over the plate.
A 3-2 count. Souza will be off. And it's popped into right center field. He threw him a fastball. Avisail Garcia is there right in front of Leori Garcia to make the catch. The Rays leave a man in the 7th, and we go to the 8th. 2-1 Chicago. Tonight, opening game of this series. Join the Rays for Pride Night Friday, celebrating the diverse and inclusive community with special pregame ceremonies. For info, visit raysbaseball.com/pride and use offer code PRIDE1. Tommy Hunter will take over on the hill. Chris Archer finished after 7 innings. Hunter on for the 16th time.
We're going to see a lot of the fastball, explosive by Tommy Hunter, and the cutter. Likes to crowd those left-handed hitters with it. Has a lively arm and needs to keep this at a 1-run deficit.
Pitch is a strike to Narvaez. White Sox catcher 0 for 2 tonight. Orioles Garcia to follow, and then Yolmer Sanchez hits third. It's 1-1. Ball, 2 strikes. 7 for Archer, 11 strikeouts. He didn't walk anybody. Souvenir for that young man. Nice going. Sanchez hit the home run in the first. Avisail Garcia hit one in the 7th. Garcia is a bit more conventional. Bouncing ball, foul. 1-2. And the Rays have not been without their opportunities, particularly down the middle part of this game.
That's been the most frustrating thing. Twice they've loaded the bases. A lot of it self-inflicted wounds by the White Sox. A lot of walks.
Hot shot going to be caught by Morrison. That is out number 1. Line drive to first. You know, the Rays have 6 walks. They've been helped along by a couple Chicago errors, but the only run they have is the one in the first on Longoria's single that scored Dickerson. Garcia 1 for 2 tonight. Orioles Garcia. The pitch is low, 1-0.
Yeah, and another example of, still got a couple cracks at it left. See if they can mount something here late, but the Rays scoring early, scoring in the first inning, and then things going quiet.
1-1. Top of the order, Sanchez on deck. Three balls and a strike. White Sox have dropped 5 straight. They're on a 9-game, 10-day road trip. We headed up to Cleveland on the completion of this series. And there's ball 4. The number 9 hitter Garcia draws the first walk of this game, given up by Rays pitching.
Yeah, Archer did a great job of limiting that, which is what you have to do. These tight ball games, both teams score early and then you settle into a pitcher's duel. In theory, you don't need to be walking guys because that usually comes back to haunt you. Rays offense has proven that that's not always the case, but a nice job overall by Archer in limiting the walks.
Sanchez 2 for 3, and the pitch to him is a strike. Breaking ball that time from Hunter. Down to first, foul. 2. Swing and a miss. Sanchez strikes out, overpowered by the 96-mile-per-hour fastball. A dozen strikeouts for Rays pitching now.
Look how he stays behind that thing and really cuts it loose. Up in the zone, out over the plate. He made him aware of the pitches in and then attacked him with the fastball up, and like you said, Dwayne, just straight overpowered him.
Oh, and the throw to first, down into the bullpen. Garcia's headed to third, and they're going to stop him there. All of a sudden, Garcia finds himself at third on the errant pickoff attempt over at first. That's an error charged to Hunter.
Well, with 2 outs, you're thinking maybe he's going to go, and that throw well wide, and Logan Morrison reaching back cannot get to it. Cannot get across Garcia's body, and once it kicks off the low wall, there's just nobody down there for a while.
Boy, this is a very big run potentially for the White Sox here.
And you've got to be ready to block anything in the dirt. And if you're Sucre, you trust him to do that.
Cabrera takes it inside. Two and 0. The walk, then the error. Garcia at third. 2-0 pitch. Swing and a miss by Cabrera.
And you see how Tommy Hunter uses that cutter, and you know he can get really good velocity with it. And you see it out of the hand as a fastball, and it just rides in on you as a lefty, like just on the side of the baseball. And how it just cuts in and misses the bat there.
The tap foul. 2-2.
A lot of guys will use that cutter to miss the barrel, and certainly Tommy Hunter can do that, but he can also miss the entire bat.
Upstairs, 3-2. Jose Abreu is on deck. And that will be ball 4. Cabrera heads to first. 2 walks in the inning, 2 men on, and Jose Abreu will be the hitter. No work to him, but not before Jim Hickey goes to the mound. Every Wednesday, Rays home game for the rest of the season. Fans can get half price, lower corner, and upper level tickets only through the MLB.com ballpark app. Fans will even be able to use their ballpark app to play bingo presented by 7-Eleven. So come enjoy the Rays against the White Sox tomorrow night for half off. Visit RaysBaseball.com today. First and third, 2 gone. Jose Abreu. He struck out, hit a fly ball to center, and struck out again. First pitch is a strike. 2-1 game, but with 2 outs, a major threat by the White Sox. Abreu fouls it back, 0-2. Hunter in his first inning in relief of Archer. This is low. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And that's where Sucre comes in with that block. And you've got to be ready for that. 0-2, trying to expand the zone against a dangerous hitter like Abreu. There's a chance that ball finds the dirt. Sucre got to be ready, and he was. Just smothers it.
1-2, driven into right for a base hit, 1 hop. Garcia scores. Up to second goes Cabrera. And Abreu on the fastball, opposite field for that RBI single.
Number 26.
Now he just shortened the swing, went the other way. Kind of inside outs this baseball. Just steps right into it, pulls the hands through, and pokes that ball right into right field.
Most of Abreu's damage this year has come against lefties. He was hitting only .238 coming into this game against right-handed pitching and .400 against lefties. And picks up a big RBI single there the opposite way.
Way down in the count too. At 1 point 0-2.
Garcia swinging and missing the fastball in. Ryan Garten up in the bullpen. One and one. Abreu first, Cabrera second. And he did go after that one. 1-2.
And clearly upset with himself. Big difference in a 1-2 count as opposed to 2-1.
Top of the 8th. Rays down by 2. And a swing and a miss. Garcia reaching is out on strikes. Bottom of the 8th coming. Rays trail 3-1. half of the 8th inning. They're down by a couple to the White Sox. Coming up on Rays Live, the post game presented by W.B. Mason. Rich and Arestis around to break out the 11 strikeout performance by Chris Archer. We'll have the press conference from Kevin Cash, and Alex Cordry will have interviews from the clubhouse. Tommy Kahnle takes over on the hill now for the White Sox.
How about those numbers, Dwayne? 40 punch-outs, just 5 walks in 22 in 2/3 innings.
That's some serious relief right there.
You're not kidding.
Tim Beckham, first man to face him. He pitches a strike on the outside part of the plate.
Boy, he's an effort guy. He gives you that drop and drive. We saw it that first pitch, the leg kick, backside collapses, and he really drives towards home plate. Big velocity on the heater.
0-2, 99 on that one.
Everything moving directly at home plate. And just watch after the leg kick, watch that backside collapse and the drive that he gets towards home plate. This is old school power pitcher.
Foul back. Kiermaier will hit second. Ground ball headed toward the middle. Backhanded. The throw by Sanchez not going to be in time. That's a great effort, but they could not get Beckham, who's on for the second time. Braves put the leadoff man aboard.
Yeah, how many times are they going to do that? They're giving themselves chances. Nice at bat there by Beckham too, after falling down 0-2 right away. He uses the middle of the field and he forces Sanchez deep enough on this ground ball that there was just no way for him to make the play once he got to it. Too far of a throw, and Beckham beats it out.
Well, now it'll be Kiermaier. Rays have put the leadoff man on base here in the 8th again. 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th innings. They've had the leadoff hitters reach.
You're having flashbacks right here. Matt Bush.
Yeah.
You know what you're going to get, and Kiermaier tuned that up and drove that deep out to right center field in Arlington. You know what you're going to get here with Kahnle.
And a base hit right back through the middle. Kiermaier ready for the fastball, and it's first and second.
Well, there was. I mean, you know it's coming. And here you go. First two aboard again. That ball was whistled back up the middle.
Our pinch a penny pinch hitter, Kobe Rasmus, will hit in the place of Ricky Weeks Jr. Rasmus, 253 with 7 home runs. Kobe Rasmus, this ball gets through the catcher, and that will move runners at second and third. Fastball at 99 got past Narvaez. That'll be a pass ball, and now men at second and third with nobody out for the Rays. Rasmus up here, Brad Miller on deck. Ground ball foul through the coaching box at first. 1-1.
Well, the Rays right now are dialed up on that fastball. I'll tell you, I don't care how hard you throw if you don't get it into good spots. These guys will find a way to turn it around. And certainly Canely has proven it with the big strikeout numbers. He's got great numbers all around, but nobody being fooled by that heater here. How about that for a changeup? That I felt my knee buckle a little bit up here. Great arm action, taken off about 8-9 miles an hour.
Now it's 1-2. Close. 2-2. Very close.
Yeah, they're both looking at each other like, how did he not call that?
Two. Foul out of play. Back with that 99-mile-per-hour fastball. Shot to first, knocked down, picked up, and Abreu steps on the bag. Runners hold, and Rasmus grounds out to first.
Boy, what a big play by Abreu on a ball that was really smoked. And Tim Beckham, you know, getting caught here. Watch Tim Beckham coming off third base. Abreu realizing that he's not running is able to take the out, but that ball was scalded. He covers everything up, knocks it down.
One out with men at second and third. Brad Miller is the hitter. It's down and in. The ball, no strikes. Two and nothing. Miller entered the game as a pinch hitter in the 6th inning, was intentionally walked, and they're going to walk him again.
Intentional walk.
So an intentional walk here. That loads the bases with one out. And Jesus Sucre becomes the hitter. He grounded into a double play to end the threat in the 6th inning with the bases loaded. That was against Chris Beck, who withdrew his glove hand, let the ball go through to start a 4-6-3 double play. Sucre again. And this time the pitch is down. And again, it's that pitch that Tishner not going to give a lot of those pitches down there as strikes. He's widened it a little bit. And with that, Sucre gets the count running in his favor.
And not often you get another opportunity, the same exact situation late in the game. And Sucre's been afforded one here.
Way up that time. 2-0.
Now you start to zero in, and Don Cooper coming to the mound here to talk to Canely. A max effort guy, but he is overthrown, especially that last pitch, the last couple.
The veteran pitching coach heads to the mound. Boy, the Rays have had opportunities, really starting with the fifth when they put the leadoff man on. The White Sox asking for trouble. In 3 of the last 4 innings, they've walked the leadoff man. Beckham hit his way on board here in the 8th with a single. Kiermaier's single, and then the pass ball set him up at second and third. And now Cooper and the plate umpire Tishner have a few words. There's that double play ball we spoke of in the 6th inning. Cooper trying to get the low pitch.
Sure, that's exactly what it's about, fighting for his pitcher, thinking that that was a strike.
There's ball 3 outside. 3-0.
A helpless feeling. There's nothing you can do. And we talked about it coming in. Canely, 40 strikeouts, just 5 walks in his 22 1/3. Got an intentional walk here. He's been pretty good with the command.
Sucre takes it for a strike. Sucre 9 of 22 with men in scoring position. And 0 for 1 tonight. That was the double play ball.
Well, who's going to be able to execute, because you know what you're getting here. Be ready for it. Be ready to pull the trigger.
3-1, a fly ball into right. Garcia gets back to make the catch. The tag down the line from third, and Beckham scored standing. So it's now a 3-2 ball game. Kiermaier advances to third. So Sucre gets a run home. And now the gap is 1. Rays pick up a run, first and third. 2 outs, and Steven Souza Jr. Souza Jr. 0 for 2, 2 walks. And it's fouled. Robertson up in the bullpen for the White Sox now. Their closer. Fouled. 2. Two-strike pitch. That's wide. Canely looking for the call, but it was off the plate.
And he tried to pick the pace up there. A slide step changeup, but kind of pulled it off the plate.
This one is down. Miller moves into second. He'll get a stolen base.
On the corner, but down.
Narvaez to the mound. Runners second and third. Rays down by a run. Base hit could change that. And a cut and a miss. Souza out on strikes, missing the fastball. So the Rays score 1. They lead 2, and they trail by a run 3-2. The Rays are down by a run here. What a game in Cincinnati. Scooter Gennett 5 for 5 with 4 home runs, 10 runs batted in. The 17th 4-home run game in Major League history. He had 3 home runs before tonight. And the second player with 10 home runs in a 4-home run game, Mark Whitten, 10 RBIs, I mean. Whitten had 12 in '93 and 10 RBIs. Gennett. Here's Frazier going after the first pitch and hitting a shot deep to center, and that one is out of here. First pitch from Ryan Garten, and Frazier reestablishes a 2-run lead for the White Sox. So he's greeted by a long one.
Here it is. That looked to be a little cutter and just stayed flat right out over the plate where Todd Frazier can get some extension. You know, Chris Archer did a great job of working the sliders down and away, which was a great place to go to Frazier, but that one right there just stayed flat and up, and that's the danger.
9th home run of the year for Frazier. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yep.
1 and 2. Swinging and a miss. Davidson out on strikes. 14 strikeouts for Rays pitching tonight.
Number 7, Tim Anderson.
Anderson 0 for 3. 1 strike the count. Ground ball up the middle. And there's a base hit. Archer worked 7, gave up 2 runs. Hunter 1 run in an inning. And Garton greeted by the home run from Frazier. And I think we failed to mention in that the Scooter Gennett game that Cincinnati won that game 13-1. 4 home runs and 10 runs batted in for Gennett.
That's a good month for some guys.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, not only did he have 4 home runs, he was 5 for 5.
And it's all downhill from there. I mean, that's it.
Forever going to chase that.
Yeah. He'll probably never do that again. But what a night. My goodness gracious. 4 homers.
This one skied the other way to left, and Dickerson takes care of that. Narvaez is out number 2.
You don't even put together nights like that when you're the best player in your little league.
No. Well, and we mentioned he had 10 runs batted in, the second player in a 4 home run game. This is the interesting thing. Only the second player in a 4 home run game with 10 RBIs. Mark Whitten had 12 in '93. Get 4 home runs, you figure you might accidentally get 10. Want to know the count here on Leury Garcia.
You know, at what point do you stop pitching to him? I mean, after 3 for 3 with 2 homers, or 4 for 4 with 3 homers, maybe we're going to stay away from this guy.
Runner takes off, the ball pops away, and Anderson, who has a steal of second, will go to third with that ball getting away.
When Sucre tried to flip that glove open as Anderson was off and running with the pitch. And as he spun his glove in, the ball's going to ricochet. Watch it ricochet. He tries to get underneath it right off the heel. He's trying to come up and make a play there. You had a cutter that was backing up.
Bit of that one foul. 2-1. Three and one. Three and two. So since 1900, we've had 15 4-home run games. Rick Odioso informs us that in the 1890s there were also 2. So that would be 17 since the 1890s. I mean, he's on his game all the time.
Any good names?
I'm sure there will be.
I mean, listen, the guy that did it tonight, you got Scooter. Well, see, who would have thought the guy from 2017 would have the best nickname?
Ed Delahanty and Bobby Lowe.
Yeah, that sound like modern day players.
Yeah.
Boring.
I mean, at least, you know, like Big Ed or Easy Ed or something.
Three-armed Alvarez. You got all sorts of names you can go with. You know he probably played at some point.
Yeah. Roll up the old sock. 3-2 the count on Garcia. Swing and a miss. He strikes him out. Couple of strikeouts in the inning, but a home run that started. And it's a 4-2 game going into the bottom of the ninth. Corey Dickerson followed by Longoria and Morrison due up for the Rays. Baseball on Fox Sports Sun, brought to you by your Gulf Coast Honda dealers and by Jeep. Get great deals at the Jeep Spring Clearance Event. Rays are down 4-2. They've been out hit 8-6. And going into the bottom of the ninth inning, they're going to face David Robertson, making his 20th appearance. 3-2 and 8 of 9 in the save department.
And more than a strikeout an inning, but he's going to earn this one because he's going to cut through really the heart of this Rays lineup. You start to think about the damage coming up here with Dickerson and Longoria and then Morrison. The problem is the Rays now need 2 runs instead of just 1.
Yeah, that home run to lead off the top of the ninth. You're always afraid that will make a big difference. First pitch he takes for a ball, the breaking ball. 1-0. Hot shot fouled into the seats and out again. It's 1-1. Ground ball hits the mound. This is Anderson, and oh, what a play. The shortstop shaded up the middle with the left-handed bat of Dickerson up there. And Anderson made an outstanding play indeed to get the first out.
But you're absolutely right, Dwayne. An infielder athlete deluxe. Thought this ball was going to find center field. He actually gets around that baseball, doesn't even have to backhand it, and then makes a really nice throw here on the run. That's one of the aspects that Tim Anderson brings to this team that the White Sox absolutely love. Tremendous athleticism.
Evan Longoria pitches a strike. Ran right away from him.
It's in one of those stretches right now where everything's just a little bit out of rhythm, out of sync. He's expanding his zone just a little bit.
Robertson goes out there again. It's 1-2. Just to put a bow on things. The best name we could find in the 4 home run game.
Yes.
Rocky Colavito.
Oh, that was my mom's favorite.
Really?
Oh,
yeah.
Mom's favorite player. It's not even close.
Yep. He was among the 17 if we go back to the 1890s.
Yep.
One-two, lifted into center. Orioles Garcia there to make the catch. So 2 gone in the 9th.
First baseman, number 7, Logan Morrison.
Rays down to their final out, and Logan Morrison about to step in. Pitch is down. 1 ball, no strikes. Big cut and a miss. One and one. Chopper foul, 1-2. A 1-2 count to Morrison. Rays down to their final strike against David Robertson, the White Sox closer. And a cut and a miss. That's going to do it. 3 up, 3 down in the 9th, and the White Sox have taken the first game of this series. It's a 4-2 final. Beck's going to get the win. Archer the loss. The save to Robertson before 14,590. For Brian Anderson and Alex Cordry, Dwayne Stats. Hope you've enjoyed the telecast and not the outcome. Rays Live, the postgame presented by WB Mason is next.